Welcome to TRU-HART collection. My name is Judith Hart, and on this video today I'm going to take you through how to draft trouser for men. Yes, the flat trouser with a good fitting and easy way of doing it. I tutor in vocational school, and so I'm going to take you like beginners, and this is totally for beginners, and that's why I have my board right here with me. I hope you're going to be able to see, and I have my brothers. And please, if this is your first time to landed on my channel, yay, you're most welcome. You have landed on a fertile soil, and so let's grow. We are going to grow, and if you haven't subscribed, could you please do that for me? Thank you so much. And if you have already subscribed, please make sure that you click on the bell. That way you always be notified and you get my other videos. Each time I post a video, you'll be the first person to be notified, and you'll go right away to watch. And so I'll give you the best of the best, and I'm going to make sure that I split this, that way you can learn it. And so this last time we did a measurement for the trouser, and so if you haven't watched the other measurement, I don't know how you're going to cope up. If you're a beginner, if you're new, and if you already know how to measure well and good, so you can just watch this video right away. So let's foremost, you need a measurement. And so these are my measurements. These are my measurements. My measurements, you can see that is waist, shoulder, no, I'm so sorry, waist, sit, or the hip. These are the measurements I got for my client, and this is his thigh, 23 or 24, waist is 31, sit is 36, knee width is 16, bottom width is 13, body rise. And so when it comes to body rise, sometimes it's what we call waist to the crotch, or waist to the fly. And last time I measured my waist to the fly in another way, whereby you put your tape measure in on front of your client where his zipper is, and you measure the zipper length, and you, after zipper length, you add 2 inch allowance or 2.5 to get your waist to crotch, depending on the size of the client. Keep that in mind. And so you can as well make the client to sit together, sit, body rise, waist to sit. That is it, and I got it 6. I add 2, it gives me 8. So length, my trouser length, and my waist to knee. Yes, I hope I got my knee with it. Yes, right there. So these are my measurements. And so, okay, how about my tools? And tape measure is one of the essential. I got my square ruler, which is going to help me to rule, and I got my hip ruler, which is as well going to help me. And as well, I got this ruler as well, helps with the hip. If you do not have this, you can use this, but they all work perfectly well. And if you do not have a ruler, you can still use without ruler. I'll teach you that in my next video. As for now, thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And if you have already subscribed, please ensure that you have clicked on the bell. I'll be posting video every week, especially every weekend. That way you can be able to have time to relax and watch and study at your free time, and you will always find it here on this channel at TRU-HART collection. I am Judith Hart. Let's get to the work. So first and foremost, oh, I forgot, this is my board, and this is I'm going to use as a board. I'm not going to draft it down that you won't be able to sit properly. I just want you to be in class and face the board and study the board and put it in your book, and then you can go ahead and draft it in your drafting paper or the material. It depends on how you do it. Some people don't do material drafting paper, they go straight into material, and others do drafting paper. And so for my students, they do drafting on paper first, they go on material. Understanding is the key to everything. If you do things without understanding, you spend your whole year, the whole week studying this. So if you can put this on your notebook, well and good. So these are my chalks for my board. They are marker pens, okay, but I will use it as a chalk for my board. And so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to rule my paper, the board. I will use the blue. I'm going to rule it. So if I put 5 and then 5, so 5, okay. And so I'm going to get this square ruler and I'll put it there and I'll make sure that. So this is what helps. This is what helps with a square ruler. So I'll put it down, and so this is my length. And so right away I'm going to make sure that I get my length, and I call this as my top line. I get my length, and my length on my staff, my length is 38. So I'll go to my length and I put my length at 8. And so for this board, assume that this is my small board, which is a bit smaller, and you are going to draft in a bigger drafting paper. If your drafting paper is small, do the extension. And so I'm just going to work with the size of what is ever is here. And so this is going to be my length. And then on the length, I'll add 2 inches for the allowance. So you'll be able to see it right here. And I'll go ahead and rule it down. So this is really going to help me. So let me just check to make sure that we're on the right track. Okay, so I'm just going to ensure that you are watching this and it's really on the right side. So this is my rule. I've ruled it properly, and so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my line. This is first, let's get the horizontal line. Remember, you have got your measurement. Where are your measurement? Please ensure that it's with you. This is my length. I first want to balance my paper, or you balance your material that it's more than enough. So I went to my draft on my length, and on my length, so that is 1, and then 2, I add 2 inches. 2 inches as the, so I will put this line as length line, and this is the hemline. Okay, so you could see, and this top line you can actually call it as well waistline. So from the waistline now we can come to the next line is the fly, or the crotch, or the border rise, how you would call it. So how did you get the border rise? You can make someone to sit down and you get. As for me, I didn't really make it to be like that. I make sure that I measured from the fly, from the front part of the body of my client, where the zipper is on the waist to the zipper stops. And so I add 2 inches to it. And so that measurement, I'm taking it here. And it was 8. So this I'm going to do 8.5, 8.5. So I decide to add 2.5, just to so that my client fits in well. So this is now your crotch line, or the fly line. So the fly line or crotch line, you can as well get your seat. My seat or my hip is 36. You can divide it by 4 to verify. So if I divide this, I'll get like 9. And so if I'm between 9 point, so I used from there to here, which is number 3. I use 8.5. So if I divide my seat, it will give me 9. That means this person can sit. So remember that my zipper stops at 6 inches and I add 2.5. So it's very important to notice that it will give you perfect. And verify it with your seat or the hip size, and divide your hip size by 4 and see if this measurement is going to meet your hip size if you divide it by 4. Keep that in mind, you will get a perfect fitting. So the next thing I'm going to do is my waist to the knee. So I'm just going to put here, like I said, this is not my actual measurement, but you can use your actual measurement. This you can just put in a book without the actual measurements. So this is the waist to the knee, and that is number 4, and this is my knee line, and this is my knee line. So you could see that I have my horizontal lines already, but now remain with one horizontal line, that is the hip line. So how do you get the hip line? On the hip line, we start to get the hip line above the crotch line, okay? And that's why our pocket will stop, you know, pick those details. And so the hip line, I'm just going to go 2 inches up from the crotch line. So from this point, I'm going to make sure that I do 2 inches and then 2 inches. I get my ruler and I rule it right away. So you could see that that is now my hip line. So I see there is much difference. So this is my hip line and this is now my all horizontal line. So we got our horizontal lines already. Now let's come to the vertical line. So how do we start the first vertical line? First vertical line, we are going to start with the on the crotch line. Okay, so this is number 6 on the crotch line. So we shall get the thigh, and my thigh measurement is 24. I'll get thigh and divide it by 2, and I'll put here. So my thigh divided by 2 is 12. Okay. So from this point to here, it is 12. And I'll mark this as 0.7, okay? So I'll move immediately 2 inches, okay? So I'll move 2 inches, and that point can be like 8.8. So from 7 to 8, I move 2 inches inside. And so this measurement, that is from 8 to 3, I'll put here. That is 10. Okay, and I'll make sure that I join this as a straight line to this measurement here. Okay, so that is number 0.9. So 8 to 9, I just rule the line. Now this is how the first horizontal vertical line is. The second vertical line is to take the measurement from this point to here, you divide it by 2. That means thigh divided by 4, so I'm getting it 6, and I'm taking it to the waistline 6, and I'm taking it to the knee line 6, and I'm taking it to the length also 6 to get my second vertical line. So I'm just going to draw a straight line from here to there and then to the knee and hem. So this line here helps you to get the first loops on your front line. So, and this line is where actually people iron that line that is on the trouser, on the flat trouser. You see those lines that can, so you don't tamper with me, I am here, I have arrived. And so you find they can be too serious, and you need that line right there. And so that is our second line, second vertical line, and so you can mark it there. So can we now do the shaping up here before we come down? And so the shaping here, we are going to come half inch or 1 centimeter. From number 9, we're just going to go there. Let's call this number 8. So we are just going to go there on 11, and we do 1 centimeter inside. And we are going to make sure that we get this and we bring it right here. So I'm going to use my red pen to get that. So we are going to bring this to here. So this is the right time that I use my ruler, and this is the perfect ruler for it. You can find it in the market. I'm thinking it doesn't cost much. Please find yourself one if you're really going to work with. Okay, you can still do without a ruler, but it's very important to have tools. Gadget tools helps you to really do something better in it. And so I am doing the shaping. So I said this is the time we do the ruler. I'll first do my straight line from the hip, okay, not from the crotch. From the hip, I'll come to the knee where I did the stuff, and then from here now I will turn this part to do. If you're drafting, make sure that this part stops on the length. It will be like this, okay? If it stops on the length, you will achieve a perfect fitting. You see that? So at this point, put it on the length, and then you can draw your line, and that is it. And make sure you draw it up to down. So from there, make sure that you move 1 centimeter and get your line like this. That way the hemming won't disturb you. And so from this side, I'm going to make sure that I put this part like this, facing like this. And so here, make sure that this part is on the curved crotch line right here, okay? And take to your point and to the downer point. And if it doesn't reach down, still it is okay. Also, you can start and then you put this and it goes. So this is what I've got for my front. And do the same here, 1 centimeter and mark. So this is my front, as simple as that. And if this is your first time to learn how to draft trouser, you can check out how you have been doing it. And if you like this way, please give it a thumb up and keep following me up. Every weekend we shall be having a new videos, a new tutorial, different lessons, and I am here to help you. Let's learn from each other. There are so many ways to do things, but if this could be easier for you, please follow. It will work for you. Thank you for watching, and thank you for tuning to this channel, TRU-HART Collection. We love you. Bye bye. I'll see you. This is the front part, and I'll see you when we are doing the back pattern. And back pattern is so simple, and we may need the front. Thank you. Bye bye.